Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Bushcraft and Fishing with the Pikey. Been a minute, ain't it? We're out here today to raise awareness for men's mental health, and while I'm going to try and talk about it a bit, I guess, I'm going to knock up some steak and make a brew and all that as well. Haven't really planned on anything to say. It's been a bit of a struggle just to even find a place, and to be honest, I'm half expecting to be turfed off of here in a minute. I'm over somewhere near Delamere Forest, and I'm not that far off the road, so you probably hear cars and lorries and that screaming past us, but fairly early in the morning. I tried to record this a couple of weeks back. I've had 2 goes at it now, and each time it's either been so windy that you haven't been able to hear the recording, or I've been absolutely getting pissed on, torrential rain. Fires won't stay alight, cameras getting soaked and tripping out and all that sort of thing. So yeah, 3rd time lucky, hopefully, you know. I've been tagged by LikeWeDid Outdoors. John's got a great channel. You know, he deserves a lot more subs than he's got. Great photographer, great filmmaker. Really loves getting out in the wilderness and that, and cooking some awesome stuff as well. I'm gonna get comfy on my little seat there, and I guess I'm gonna have to think of something to say, really, because as I say, I've not planned anything. I've just rounded up a little. I'll show you my food. It's the show us your steak challenge, but obviously me being a pikey and all that, I can't push the boat out like that. So I've got pork loin steaks. Steak's a steak though, isn't it, bruv? You know what I mean? And I'm going to be sticking me a special sauce on there that I make up. You'll have to excuse it being in a jam jar. It's not raspberry jam. What we got in there is I make it up with a good squirt of ketchup, brown sugar, honey, some chili sauce, loads of chili powder, garlic powder. What else do we put in there? Lots of paprika, all equal measures, like a spoonful. Ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, and it just makes a really nice sticky barbecuey sort of mix, and the honey and the sugar really gets a nice glaze on it, and yeah, lovely. So that's me marinade for today. I should really have had food cooking already, because like I say, I could be turfed off of here any minute. I could have Forrester come over and say, "Oi, no fucking fires in our bed." So yeah, fire's only really just been getting going. It's not smoking too bad now, so hopefully if I keep it down, I should be able to stay here for the duration of the movie. Raising awareness for men's mental health. Obviously I've got my own problems, but we're talking about everyone, I guess. I could talk a little bit about me. Obviously I make YouTubes. I like to spend a lot of time on my own. I like to do my own thing. I'm not much of a people person. Things I've done through my life, I've seen a lot of hate in the world. I know there's a lot of love in the world as well, but there's also a lot of hate, and once you've seen it, you sort of have to live with it. And it can cause problems later on in life, and obviously you've got a lot of soldiers coming home. They're going to have problems, things they've seen, and it's getting back to normal life as well, isn't it? Civilians, it's hard to mix with civilians once you've had that kind of brotherhood going on and just normal day-to-day life. I struggle because I don't like repetition as such. I like change. I like my own routines, I guess. Because I guess what I've got is like what you'd call Asperger's, and I like my routines, but I like things to change. Repetition really bores me, and I soon lose interest in anything that's the same over and over again. So just holding down like a regular job, um, you know, I'm a builder, so generally the job's changing all the time. One minute you're digging foundations, then you're laying brickwork, all the way up to the roof. But just general day-to-day jobs, if I had to be stuck on a conveyor belt packing or in an office typing, it would drive me insane, and literally on the second day I'd quit, or I'd start becoming disruptive and abusive and things like that. And people just think you're crazy, and it's easier sometimes to pass yourself off as crazy, I guess. You can just always be that unapproachable guy at work that doesn't talk to anyone, keeps himself to himself, and smokes, away from everyone else in break times and that. And I guess that's always been me. Um, but I'm even past caring what people think nowadays. Everyone's living their own life. They're so wrapped up in their own selfish little lives. I mean, you see it a lot on the road. Um, as you can see, I've got my new bike with me here, and people out on the road, they couldn't give a fuck. Um, they're all in a rush. They've got a, they're off out for prosecco with the girls that night, or they've got to pick the kids up, and no one's looking. They're all on their phone. It's just fucking selfish people. And you know what I mean? You knock me off, and that's it. I'm probably in a wheelchair for the rest of my life just because someone ain't paying attention. Um, so I mean, I've got my own gripes with society, and that's why I like to be out in the woods and ride dirt bikes and be away from all that, because people are so just wrapped up in their own little lives that they just become arrogant and selfish. And yeah, I just like to keep away from all that. Um, but yeah, men's health in general. I mean, it is best to talk to people and let people know that something's going on and you're having trouble, and people sort of will give you a little bit of leeway. I mean, as I say, people with me at work, um, they know I'm not a people person, so they're not constantly battering my head trying to talk to me and putting me in uncomfortable situations. They know that I'm not going to do Christmas parties and go off out drinking with everyone, and I'm not going to go to the office day out events where it's, you know, bonding and all that sort of thing. I'm not a bonder, not anymore. Especially when it's forced upon you as well, and it's with other people that I really couldn't care less about. And that's the thing. When it's people that I really don't care about, I don't even listen to what they're saying. They haven't got nothing to tell me. They haven't been where I've been, done the things I've done, and seen the things I've seen. I just assume most people have lived a pretty fucking mundane life of getting married at an early age, sticking with the same shitty, boring job, and having kids and sticking with the same shitty, boring job just to pay the bills, to have the right clothes, to drive the right car, to live in the, to have all that sort of bullshit. That doesn't interest me. Um, but yeah, if you've got problems, let people know around you. It's a lot more widely accepted now, with all these human rights and that. You can't say boo to a goose without someone getting offended and, trying to claim against you and sue you for not accepting who they are. So everyone's got to be that little bit more accepting now anyway. So just fuck it, you know what I mean? Just say, listen, I've got problems. I don't like people fucking sneaking up on me from behind. I don't like repetition. I don't like telephone calls. Also suffer from like anxiety. So if I get phone calls or mail come through the door, I can become a bit of a fucking wreck, because no one wants to ring me to say, oh, you're a nice guy, or here's some money, Mike, in the post. No one sends that. It's always bad fucking news. So I'm instantly like that. I can be a wreck sometimes, and that's also one of the reasons that I started my channel, I guess, was the anxiety of being in front of a camera a lot. Obviously everyone's got mobile phones and things like that now, so everyone's got a camera, and people pull cameras out, and all of a sudden it makes me feel you know, uncomfortable that someone's pointing a camera at me. And I thought, well, you know, go in at the deep end and start making videos. And as you can probably tell from the older ones, I was pretty uncomfortable in front of a camera, but I guess I'd been schooled a little bit by watching everybody else's videos. I sort of knew what to say, what to do, and what people wanted to see, but you know, so I just sort of went for it and went in at the deep end, and I was expecting a lot of abuse and that sort of thing. And yeah, I've had trolls, but I couldn't give a fuck about trolls. I quite happily give me address out to anyone who's got a fucking problem with me. So I wasn't really worried about the trolls. I was expecting it, but I wasn't really worried about it. But what I wasn't expecting was a great community of people that are like-minded, understanding, and enjoy your shit, you know. And I enjoy watching everyone else's shit. It's a nice little community where people talk in the comments and other people go off and do other things together. I mean, I'm probably going to be doing that next year. I mean, as you can see, I've got my new bike there. Gorgeous, isn't it? Royal Enfield 500. Not meant to be a touring bike by any means, but I just thought, fuck it, I got a great deal on it. Usually they're going for like 4,500. And just because I was going to go and test ride a bike in another shop that actually turned out to be their main competitor, he dropped the price instantly by 1,400 quid. So who am I to say no to that? That was a great deal. I was after something a bit more enduro, a little bit faster, but I mean, at the end of the day, how fast do you want to go? It's more about the journey, innit, than the destination. And I've already racked up 4,000 miles on that in the last couple of months, and it just makes me smile riding it, you know. Makes other people smile seeing it. You've only got to park it up and, you know, all of a sudden you've got a few people stood around you taking pictures. It's not an old bike, it's a brand new bike, but it's not one of these new retro sort of Chinese bikes. This is the real deal, the Royal Enfield. They've been building these the same since the 50s, since they moved the English production over to India, because the Indian army still use these. Hang on, I better get some meat on, because otherwise I'm going to be struggling for heat. But yeah, great little bike, thoroughly enjoy riding it around. Have a great laugh on it. So yeah, it's going to be the bike that I'm going to probably be using for the summer. Do a little bit of touring round. May come and meet some other YouTubers. We'll see how we go with that, because like I say, it can be hard for me with my mental problems to sort of not be forced, but once you say, right, I'll be down there at a certain time and this and that, it then becomes a bit of a fucking issue for me mentally, like the stress and the strain of making sure everything goes right. Even today has been a bit of a fucking nightmare, really, just in panic, because I'm expecting everything to go wrong. Well, it has twice already, so I'm already woken up this morning going, oh, I hope this fucking goes right today, you know. But we'll see anyway. I'm gonna have to get a bit more wood on, because it's all softwood here, it's all fucking pine, innit? So get me last little bit of sticks on that I've arranged. But yeah, it's not too bad now. I'm actually out here, the camera's rolling, and you guys are there laughing at me. But yeah, I think I wasn't going to be making a video for a little while, but it's a good reason to come out and make a vid, I guess, as it's something that's pretty close to my heart as well. I think a lot of people out there obviously have got some problems, you know, we're not all the same. So don't go thinking, oh, I'm fucking different than everyone else, because you know, variety is the spice of life, isn't it? It's good to be different. I've never wanted to follow the herd. I've always been a shepherd, not a sheep. I'll go my own way and do things my own way, even if it's not necessarily the right way. But I also feel that you learn a lot from failure, and sometimes people have to fail themselves to really, you know, learn it properly. It's like riding a bike. You see all these idiots riding around in flip-flops, shorts and t-shirts. They're clearly not falling off, and you're not really going to learn that until you do fall off. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad when you do, but you can tell people that have come off and are true bikers because they wear the right gear. I mean, I'm in full biker trousers with knee pad protection, thigh protection, all armoured up, arse protection. I've got me boots. I can't actually ride with me motorcycle boots with these because it's got forward controls. You need that little bit more ankle movement. So I'm down to wearing the Hakes, but they're good solid leather boots. And my jacket's full of armour. I've got a helmet. You know, I wear all the gear because I've been down. I know what it feels like to hit the concrete at 40-50 mile an hour. What a lot of people don't realise is if you fall off on tarmac with bare skin, every metre you slide, you lose 1 inch of flesh. That's pretty gnarly. My arms are only 4 or 5 inches wide, so if I slide 5 metres, that's life-changing injuries, isn't it? So wear the right gear, people. It's not funny or clever to be out riding in tracksuits because you just look like a bellend. Every other biker out there, don't think, oh, he must be a great biker because he's wearing a trackie. No, we just think you fucking prick. You're a 17-year-old kid, you've probably already got 2 kids, and you're gonna orphan them kids because you're riding around on your fucking scooter wearing a trackie like a dickhead, or wheeling around dirt bikes on the street. I'm all down for dirt bikes and things like that, but there's a time and a place. You do it right, you know what I mean? You man up, you pass your test, you tax insure a motorcycle, and you ride it correctly. You can still have fun, but legally and dressed appropriately. But yeah, it's going to be my bike for the summer. Going to get out, hopefully going to have some fun, meet some people, going to try some different places. I don't know how far I'm going to go, or you know, they say on the Royal Enfields that, you know, you can't ride them for more than an hour or 2 without getting white finger because of the vibration. But I'm used to riding big thumpers that, you know, they got a little bit of vibration, so it's not a problem to me. A lot of people that do reviews on these bikes have usually ridden to the fucking dealership to test ride it on like a brand new Africa Twin or something like that, so they get on an old school bike. You know what I mean? It's not a new bike, it still rides like a 50s bike. It's got a drum brake on it and things like that, but it hasn't got the power that's going to need anything more, you know what I mean? Everything's adequate on it. The build quality's a little bit down, obviously being an Indian bike, and a lot of the parts that I've bought for it, like crash bars and the panniers, very low quality stuff, to be fair. The welding's absolute shite and looked like it's been done by a child. The bike's fine, the actual bike itself, but what's meant to be Royal Enfield aftermarket parts, very poor quality. Everything needs to be repainted, rebent. I've had to move brackets 2 or 3 inches, brackets that have turned up to connect things, haven't even fitted round the bars, so it's meant scratching them hell out of them trying to get the brackets on there to find out that they're like 4 mil too small. Unbelievable. So, you know, India really got to get your quality together, people, because at the end of the day it's got a royal stamp to it. So Royal Enfield and aftermarket parts, get your act together. And you know, obviously you've outsold Harley for the last couple of years, so the bikes are popular, but let's see if they're going to last. So yeah, it's going to be my bike. We'll see how it gets on over the summer. As I say, I've done 4,000 miles on it already, still going strong, still riding like a brand new bike. I couldn't ask for more. Like I say, I've been loads of different beaches and watching the motocross, because we're still in motocross season, and I've been riding this thing sometimes for up to like 9 hours a day, and great mileage, even loaded up like that. I mean, I'm just going around dug 50-60 mile an hour, and I'm getting between 75 and 85 miles per gallon. So it really is costing pennies just to be able to get about now. Literally 100 miles for a fiver, which I don't think is too bad. It can certainly get me from coast to coast in 4 hours maybe. Probably only a 2-hour journey in a car, but I'm taking my time, enjoying the views, taking the scenic routes, you know what I mean? I'm staying away from the motorways and even the A roads. I'm looking for the B roads and the trails and tracks. I'm going to be getting some dirt tyres on it soon. I knew that as soon as I got the bike I was going to be doing loads and loads of mileage, so I left the original tyres on it just so I can smash out the miles before I do put some knobbly tyres on there they wear down a little bit quicker. So I've been smashing the mileage, getting the use out of these tyres, and then when the summer comes, or maybe even in a month or so, I'll use them as winter tyres and get the Continental TKC 80 tyres, which are great road tyres, great off-road tyres. I reckon this is going to flare up, and then I'm going to be struggling to pick it up because I've only. Yeah, we are going to run into problems, but we'll see. Get out of there because you'll catch fire. You'll catch fire. We'll see how we get on. It'll probably flare up, and we'll have no stones in it though, so the pikey's not going to be getting covered in red hot embers. You know, fingers crossed. Speak too soon. How's my water getting on? Any kind of hot water? We'll have a go at making it brew. Alright. I did even put a seat down there, and I haven't fucking sat on it once. I've just been squatting here. But yeah, if you're watching and you're an old sub, thanks for hanging around. I've got full intentions of coming back, like I say, making videos. At the minute, still not able to edit or anything like that. I've got no computer, no internet, that sort of thing. So once I've done this, I'm going to have to go and find somewhere with free internet and sit around for about 8 hours while it uploads. Oh, it's already on fire, you son of a bitch. Get the fuck off my steaks. Of course it's going to catch fire as soon as I put it on there. What was I saying? Yeah, full intention of getting out there and making vids again, because I really do enjoy it. It gives me a reason to be off out and doing stuff. As I say, I've got an old army bike because I sort of plan, I like all vintage army stuff, and it's going to sort of give me a reason to get out, more things to do. With, you know, World War II reenactment weekends, I'm not going to get involved with it, but the scene, you know, when you have the cars and the trucks turn up, and well, you know, I've got the bike for that now, innit? So yeah, it's another reason to be able to get out there and go and do stuff. There's always going to be a military event on at weekends, that sort of thing, be it air shows, reenactments, lots of things like that. So yeah, going to be lots of chances to go places and do things, and that just opens up a different sort of world really. And I'm still going to be camping, still going to be cooking, bushcrafting, all that sort of thing. Nothing's going to change on that front. I might have a camera on my helmet, something like that, so I can talk to you, do a little bit of talking while I'm riding, if there's anything nice en route, you know, things like that. Yeah, just sort of kind of like motor vlogging, motor camping, that sort of thing. I mean, you've seen me testing out me little GoPro thing, me SJ4000. That's an okay camera. I'll get a better one eventually, but if it's just for filming 5 minutes on the road on my journey, whatever, you can put up with that surely. and yeah, get some new computers, editing gear, really get back into it again. But yeah, it's going to be next season. I'm not a winter person. I don't like the cold. um, I didn't really enjoy. I went out about 3 or 4 times in the summer, but it was so hot there wasn't any need for a campfire other than cooking, and you didn't want to get near it because you were so bloody hot anyway. But yeah, I went out a couple of times, but I was with other people, so I didn't film because again I feel funny recording in front of people. It's even strange. I've got people sort of walking past on a path about 50 yards back there, and people going past on horses, and obviously they can see the smoke and see me set up over here. And I can get over that now. Once upon a time I'd have ducked out the way and gone, oh fuck, you know, and been all, but it's more about getting the video done in it anyway. It's for a good cause. I better grab a glove. Get me hot water off there first actually. That's handleable. No, still welded. When it's welded, it's not ready. Bash on the top there. Mightn't even have to stir it, boys. Yeah, I'm going to be tagging 3 people, I think it is, isn't it? I asked a few people beforehand because I thought there's no point asking people that ain't going to fucking do it, is it? So, who was it again? Hazzard, outdoors. He funny lad, he's always out there having a laugh, so go and check him out. Hazzard Outdoors, you'll tag, bruv. Show us your fucking steak in it. We'll tag Uncle Albert. Sorry, Jonah Outdoors 365. I'll put it at the bottom there, and you'll fucking know. You probably know that cunt anyway. Yeah, so Jonah, show us your steak mush, and don't be cooking that fucking dog. Go and get yourself a steak, cheap cunt. And finally, I guess we'll be tagging Bo over at Combat Archery. He's recently started doing a little bit of cooking over there on his channel over in Kansas. Yeah, Bo, show us your steak, bruv, and show us a little bit of archery or something there while you're doing it. Show some of the folk, you know, what you can really do, and get some steak going out in that backyard of yours. So yeah, 3 people tagged, happy days. If you don't want to do it, don't fucking, you know, stress yourself out about it, because I wouldn't want to be causing anyone like mental stress from having to do something like that. That's also one reason why I've been a bit funny in the past, tagging people and make it more of a joke or not tag people, because instantly when I've been tagged for things before. It might just be show us your knife or something like that, but it's hard if you've got any kind of problems. Sometimes things like that are hard because it's not what you wanted to do. Obviously everyone has to do things they don't want to do in life, but when something's meant to be for fun, sometimes the likes of having to do certain videos is more sort of trouble than it's worth sometimes. The sort of stress and anxiety sometimes that tags can cause. So no, if it's a problem to anyone and they feel, you know, I won't be offended. I won't be offended. Get a bit more gear on this shit. Get that shit on there. I was meant to be doing potato salad as well, but it was dark when I was setting up this morning and loading everything up, and I think I've left the spuds on my wheelie bin outside the gaff, you know what I mean? So they won't be there when I get back. Someone have made off with me spuds. Some cunt will be, yeah, I had them spuds off that pikey cunt. Probably be all over Facebook. Fuck it. Rather my spuds are break your face. Right, that'll fucking do for that. Yeah, got me brew, got me food cooking there. A little bit quicker than I'd like it, but and the embers are burning out a little bit quick as well. But it's about cooking and videoing and talking to yous and all that in it. That's probably going to take another 20 minutes, but I won't keep you for another 20 minutes because I know yous all have fucking attention problems like me. You wouldn't want to see me sit there eating anyway. What gear have I got for eating? Just your basic pound shop, plastic plate, pound shop, plastic like chopping board, dead handy. Obviously don't take up any space in me boxes on me bike. That's going to be one thing that's nice about having the bike, because I've done a couple of demo runs, test runs and that, like fully loaded up, and I've been taking more shit than I needed, just filling it up for the sake of loading it up, seeing what the bike can carry, how it rides. And yeah, I went out last weekend when I went to film this again, and I had 3 sleeping bags with me. I had my big what is it, check sleeping bag, you know how big and heavy they are. I had that across the back. Hang on, let me pick you up and we'll have a closer look at the old bike. But yeah, 2017 Royal Enfield Bullet Classic, was in army green. Everything that you can see on it is pretty much custom by me. Like the mug, number plate on the front, light guards. These are cast iron as well, you know what I mean? They all needed painting black, they were all silver. I've put the crash bars on that were down here. Did have a big super silver exhaust pipe on it. I've cut her off and give it a stubby. I've given it exhaust wrap, and it's like a Hessian colour, rather than white or black. And it's got a stubby little black can on it. It gives a nice little dug. The ammo cans sorry, filming it upside down. I've built myself. They come all, everything come in like just regular metal, unpainted, because it works out a lot cheaper, and anything coming from India is going to get fucking scratched to fuck coming here anyway. So yeah, I just got the flat metal and painted them all up myself, and I got some stencils from World War II for the 303 cartridge boxes. Coming round the back, I'll put the screen on it as well, keeps a little bit of wind off, but and yeah, round the back, I can't really see, it's not very good light, but at the moment I've got the water bottles in here, but they're specifically made for the 5 litre metal jerry cans, so I'll be getting a couple of them to go on there. Got me rope if shit happens, you know what I mean. But yeah, it's a nice little kitted out bike. See the size of this fucking rack on it. Look at the metal frame rack on that bad boy. You're actually meant to be able to have another pillion on here as well. It's got a hole there for a pillion saddle, but obviously I'm not going to be having no one on there, so I can carry the regular weight that I would be anyway, but without worrying about overweighting the bike. But yeah, great little bike. I reckon it looks fucking smart. I'll say it's a nice little head turner, and you end up talking to some random people. Hang on, let me get you back in here. Yeah, people just sort of come up to you and say, oh, I don't even like motorbikes, but you know what, I really like that, that's really nice. So yeah, it makes people smile as well. So right, I've been chatting bubble for nearly 40 minutes, so I won't keep you any longer. I'm going to crack on with my brew, my cheech, wait for these buggers to cook, and then it's going to be eat these up, pack up, leave no trace, obviously guys, that's the main thing. While I've been going around looking for spots, I have been finding campfires, and they've all got bottles and cans and fucking plastic bags around it. So I know it's not you guys watching, you know what I mean, if you're watching this sort of thing, you're probably not doing that. But for all these other heroes that are just go, oh, I want to be out in nature, and then once they've been there, they just fucking leave all their shit there, you're a disgrace. So leave no trace. Right, hopefully more videos from me soon. Anyway guys, thanks for sticking around, and thanks to everyone, and thanks for tagging me, John. It's been an interesting couple of weeks trying to get this video done, and to anyone that I did tagged, which was Hazzard Outdoors, fucking Jonah, and Bo over at Combat Archery. So alright guys, thanks a lot. I look forward to seeing your videos if you can do them, that's great, and next time keep it pikey.